Hi guys, this is Paul. Today I want to take you through probably my favourite website on the whole of the internet, gov.uk. It's only really been in the last few years that I've grown to love this website. A few years ago it wasn't that pretty, it wasn't easy to use, but in the last couple of years this website has just become my favourite. And you'll see as you go through the site, anyone who's used this site will know exactly what I mean. It's fantastic, and from a usability point of view, there's so many good lessons to be learned, and I think it's a real good example of some best practices. So just a few things that I like about the site. So when you come to it, everything's just so clean. I mean, they're not trying to make it the most beautiful website in the world. There's not images everywhere. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're just trying to get the job done. This is for the masses and for anybody to use. So the colors are all high contrast. Hyperlinks are all underlined. I like the fact that there's color coding. So let's just go to Brexit transition. I've got this kind of red colour that follows you around, or if I go back and I choose coronavirus, and I've got this yellow colour that follows you around. And so there's some subtle things like that that really help you it's just a real pleasure to use this site, it really is. And some of the things that I like about it is, accessibility is just built into it. It's not something that, is an afterthought. So if I come down and look at this video here, view the video transcript, it has that just below it. It's not something that you have to go and find. It's right in front of you. I also love the kind of workflows. Anyone that's gone through these workflows, I know exactly what I mean. So if I come through, it just says, what nationality are you? And they are some of the biggest radio buttons I've ever seen in my life. They're as big as the button, but they're beautiful to use. This whole page is so easy. I have a backlink. It's easy to find it. I know what the main action is. And then you've got, is this page useful at the bottom? If it isn't useful, you can click on it. And it's a very simple form, very easy form. You know exactly what to do. I know how to close it down. Everything about it is just easy to use. And so I think, one of the reasons that this is so good is there's a real, it's well documented, the design system. So this part of the website shows different government departments how to make their websites in line with the government standards, the gov.uk. And so it goes through all the components and things like that. So, you want to look at error messages, it will show you what error messages look like. Or I like patterns, so it also shows you in terms of pages, like the one we just saw. So question pages, there we go. This is the kind of pattern that they use for these question pages. And so this, the gov.uk design system is just well thought out. There's plenty of information in there, and I think it does a really good job at just helping government departments create these websites that all look the same and act the same. And honestly, it's just a pleasure to use. So it's difficult to find ways to improve this site, but the more you dig around, you do realise that it's not perfect and there are some things that can be improved. So we'll just go through a few of them. So I think there's a few styling issues that are floating around. So for example, if I just come to this search here, we'll type in budgets, and there's a little bit of an issue here on the search icons. I'm not sure what's just happened there. And then also, if I come down into the footer, I would have expected there to be a little bit more spacing here between, for example, Brexit transition and the link above. The title was just kind of get a little bit lost in between the links. So I would have thought we'd have a little bit more space in there just to make it read a little bit easier. And then sometimes the hyperlinks are underlined and sometimes they aren't. And I can't always understand why there's a difference. So for example here, look, if I click on benefits, all of these are underlined. And if I come to benefits, these next, they all look fairly similar, but these aren't underlined and they are links. So I'm not sure exactly the reason that they're not, or what the exact style is. Maybe there's a reason for it, I just can't tell. But maybe that's an opportunity there to be a little bit more standardized. There are a few things where it does kind of trip you up and can be a little bit disappointing. So if I come to Brexit transition, then I get up in the top right hand corner a menu. Now I would have thought that a menu would, have all the different government departments or different things. Well, I guess I'm in the Brexit section, so maybe there's, if I click on menu, maybe there's lots of things about Brexit, but the only option I get is a sign-in link. And it feels disappointing that I had to click on menu just to see that. You could argue that they should just say sign in the top right-hand corner. So things like that, may be a little bit of a disappointment. The other thing that trips you up is sometimes the gov.uk logo will not take you back home. So if I do click sign in here, I would expect that if I click on gov.uk, I'd go home, but I don't. It keeps me on this page. And again, maybe there's a reason for it, but it's not at all clear to me how I get back to the gov.uk homepage. So I'm just going to click back in the browser to get back to where I need to be. It's the same on the design system as well. So if I go to the design system part of the website, again, if I click on the home button, I might expect to go home, but I'm not. I'm stuck here. So I'm at designsystem.service.gov.uk. And again, it's not clear how I get back home. So the other thing is, I think that animation isn't really used in the gov.uk website. And again, there may be a reason for that. But I think it's a missed opportunity. So if I click on menu, for example, then the menu just kind of appears, but I'm not sure whether it's covered up the content or if it's pushed it down, because the animation doesn't show me what's happened. But I can see here that it's pushed the content down. Whereas if a bit of animation is used there, it's easier to see if it's gone over the content or if it's pushed it down. And so I think there's maybe a missed opportunity there. And then also there was a kind of strange thing that I saw that I really don't understand this, and I'd like to know what this is about actually. But let's just go to coronavirus, and if I come to this section which says find support, there's a little workflow here where I can get some support. I start now, and there's this link in the bottom right that says leave this site. Now I've never seen that before. I don't know where it's come from, but it really does close the site down. So I'm in the middle of a workflow. I want some help with coronavirus, and it's possible that I might accidentally click it. I don't know if it's covering up the continue button, but I promise you, if you click that button, you will leave the site and it will close it down. And I'm not sure the reason for that, but just be careful of that. And then the final thing just to show you is the only page I could find that kind of isn't mobile friendly. I'm sure there's lots of them, but the only one I could find in a quick search is the very final link, Open Government License. It's okay in the emulator, it doesn't look too bad here. But if you're looking on a phone, it doesn't actually look like it's rendered very well for mobile phones, and you have to actually click, like reader view and things like that. So apart from that, I honestly love the gov.uk website. I think it's a great example of a best practice site in terms of usability, and it's an absolute pleasure to use. Just a few things that I think could be improved. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.